Hey guys, this is Jaden with the Blue Collar Future podcast, and I'm here with my friend Justin. He's got a landscaping business out in Florida, and he also has a coffee business with his wife. We'll be talking to him about all of that and more. So, without further ado, here we go. What's up, Justin?
Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you. It's been
Good.
since I think last February since we've seen each other in person.
Yeah, yeah. We saw each other at the Lions Den fly-in. I might actually want to go to this next February one. It was good.
Awesome, man.
It was a good event. So yeah. So we'll get things kind of kicked off here. Tell people a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I've been live in Florida, West Coast Florida, near the Gulf. Been in landscape for about 15 years now. Worked for a couple large companies. Got a lot of my knowledge from those straight out of college. Um, Thought I'd be with those for a long time. Ended up, like the rest of our industries, where they got gobbled up as part of this acquisition. I didn't want to be a part of that. I wanted to go back to becoming part of the customer and taking care of the customer instead of worrying so much on the dollar focus. And I think that brings a lot more into the culture and being able to attract and go into further things we'll talk about in this podcast. But ended up joining forces back with some old teammates that I worked with before. And we've been in business. They've been in business about 9 years. I've been in this with them for about six, and it's going great. So do landscape maintenance, some renovations, and yeah, have about a team of 180 here in Florida. And yeah.
And it's a big team. We haven't had the chance to talk much about your landscape business because we've done a little work with you and your wife on the coffee business.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't. So it's interesting to hear that out in Florida. So what got you started into going down that route? Or is it something you wanted to? You said you went to college.
Yeah, so I grew up kind of in a blue collar family. My dad was a subcontractor his whole life. Worked outside when I was a kid. Worked at paint and body shops. Worked on houses. I knew I still wanted to work with my hands. There's no way I could be inside, but I wanted to do something I could still, provide for a family. I didn't want to do that until I was 60. So I did a couple internship calls when I was a senior in college. I was one of the few that wanted a job when I got out instead of focused on partying. So got on with a company called Valley Crest and stayed with them for a while. Jumped on, went through the internship, went through. I knew nothing. I didn't even push mow lawn. Basically, that was about it. So I went on the crew, just like everybody else. Worked my way up and stayed with them for quite a while. And I ended up finding something that kind of had that balance where I was able to focus on sales, but also get outside and had a little bit of everything. And still to this day, 15 years later, it's still I'm either outside, I'm walking jobs, I'm with customers, I'm figuring out problems. So it's not like that same mundane thing you're doing every single day. It's pretty cool. So it's to be able to take a problem and still be able to turn it around, and it's a different problem tomorrow and a different problem tomorrow, and it's been fun. It's everybody thinks you're just a grass cutter, but there's so much more tied into it, and it's just been a fun industry to be in and stay in.
Yeah, for sure. I think something a lot of people get caught up in is only being able to get to work and do their trade and their craft, and then they go home or whatever, and then it's the whole other aspect of running the business. There's so many other problems you have to run into. There's a lot of stress in this industry, so it's kind of, I mean, what are some challenges you've seen as far as running a business and running employees and trying to be on the job and splitting your time up that way?
Yeah. So I do have the lucky side of it. I'm not the owners of this business. I run an operations region for them, so I've got some
Mhm.
part ownership, but I've got the support from two owners that have been doing it for a long time. But I think I
Mhm.
have it's got the same challenges any company does, right? Finding good people. I think that steers with number one and people you can trust in. I think that no matter what industry you're doing the same thing. You're taking care of a customer, you're providing a product, but you got to have the right people to trust. And it took me 6 years to find a couple of the right people underneath me to be able to get to a point where I could trust them and give a good quality product. So I think the biggest challenge is creating a culture in what you're doing. and continue to push that culture. And the larger you grow, how do you continue to consistently sustain that culture across everybody that joins the team? And what size is too big that you can't put your hands on that entire culture? But
Yeah.
I think like any industry, people's like the biggest thing to really nail down and figure out.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, finding good people, hiring, that's a big problem. Especially nowadays, people kind of in their mid 20s, and or people even graduating high school, they're getting pushed away from ever wanting to join the trades because there's so much of a push to go to college and to learn, do arts and crafts or whatever this other stuff is that they do. I mean, there's a big push into tech, and we've seen a lot of tech layoffs, but there's not necessarily as many construction layoffs. It's almost always people are hiring in the trades and construction, and you can never find enough people. So how would you cater to getting, younger people involved? The
Yes.
culture is definitely something that's important, and finding the young people to come in and join.
Yeah, so I'd say though the last couple of years has been the biggest challenge, right? Like this COVID fake life that we've lived has created some riches that didn't need to be us, like some fake
Yeah.
millionaires for a little bit, right? Everybody like
Yeah.
bought some Bitcoin and got rich. Everybody became a realtor that was know nothing about houses, and it like created this, facade of you didn't really need to have industry experience, and it almost like gave them a level of cockiness to where they could leave and go make a lot more money. And I'm starting to see that shift back like this last 6 months. I'm starting to see those people come back to this industry, come back to a safe place, like where they know they can build something and lean on it. And I think that's a big thing. And what can you do to attract those people? And it's all about the current staff that you have and showing that, promoting that, and taking care of them. And I talked to my team the other day, and I equated a lot to, I don't watch football anymore, but I equate it's like the Alabama team. Like, how do you create this winning team that everybody wants to be a part of, but they know to join that team, you got to be the hardest motherfucker out there. You got to, you're about to go through the hardest coaching, you're about to go through the hardest
Mhm.
work, but at the end of the day, you're going to wear a shirt with an A on it, and you're going to walk out and you're going to be like, I'm on that team. And I think that's what we've done to create. And I think that's what pushes the culture. Like people start seeing it online, they start seeing it on LinkedIn, they start seeing all the stuff of what you're doing. And I think that's what's helped a lot.
Yep. Yep. Having employees, I mean, even having employees that are sharing their experiences with all of their friends. I mean, you have one good employee, it's a pretty high chance that they have some other friends that are pretty similar to them that would want to join too, or somebody in their network that'll be interested. So it's kind of it's we're seeing a lot of the same where it's like the remote work and the COVID and you don't have to work because of the unemployment and the COVID checks and all that stuff has like made these people think they can just sit at home and not do anything. So getting people back into that has been hard. And I think that's kind of what the tech layoffs have been about a little, because there's so much remote work, and I don't think they can quite keep control over all of their employees. Um, Everybody's at home and just kind of screw around and do what they want. So it's interesting. That I'd say the hiring for the trade industry is interesting, and that's one of the things I want to kind of bring focus to. Is there's so much room for growth and improvement here, and it's not going away. I mean, we talked about AI a little bit earlier. Where do you see AI coming in and helping your business, but how long before it takes over?
I was at a gas station down here yesterday, and I've never seen this before. But they have gas stations now that you can just put your chips and your candy bar or whatever on the counter, and it scans it all for you. The person doesn't even have to grab it and scan it anymore. The guy literally just stood behind the counter and watched you swipe the card. And I just look at the guy, I'm like, you're so replaceable now. Like, why do you want to be a part of this company? And so to me, it's more like I want to go be a part of a company where there's still that physical touch, there's still that physical customer service. And I know me as a customer, like if I go into a gas station and there's self checkout lane, or I can go talk to that person, I'm going to go talk to that person. And I think there's still going to be that shift, and there's going to be that physical touch, that physical smile that's never going to go away. And I equate it to like I don't watch this stuff, but I gotta assume that I'm not seeing as much of it that it's going away. But this stupid metaverse thing, Like you saw it all go away. Everybody can sit at home with goggles on and be a rich boy, but there's still a fat guy inside the house, and they're living this fake life. Well, nobody's doing it. No, they would rather go out in the field and be that rich person, be that and connect with those real people. So I think that I don't know. I think there was too fast of a shift to AI. I still think there's some positives. I still think there's some things that you can do to help create some limited waste on some things, but I still think there's that shift. And there's some of our big competitors are even doing it. Like they're outsourcing estimating. They're outsourcing. I heard the other day that one of our larger competitors has got these self-driving cars that go around now and take pictures. They don't need managers anymore. It's like I could imagine a homeowner running outside chasing this car down. Where's my manager? But it's like, oh my God, like that just makes it so much easier for us because again, they want that physical smile. They want that physical touch. So like that, there comes a time where it's like there's too much too fast.
Yep. Yep. I don't see personally AI making any major job changes to construction. Maybe it's still too early, and even if it replaces people, it's not going to be very much. And I think that's something that people are worried about now. There's so much talk out there about AIs replacing your job and all of that stuff. And yeah, it's not going to go away. And I think there's going to be a almost push towards trades as soon as AI starts replacing these like entry low level jobs. And how do you think you could prepare for that? There's going to be a lot of opportunities and openings, um, and maybe even a push towards instead of away from the trades.
Yeah, I think it gives you like you're in the player seat now, right? Like you get to choose the best of the best and continue building the best team. I mean, the opportunity to get good people and for good people to join a good team is going to become very, very open here soon. Um, I think it's good for companies like you and I. Like they're small, we're attracting, we want those kind of people. I equate it to first form. Like you see their pictures of their people, like that are packaging boxes. Like you could AI that, you could automate that system. You could have little machines that go around and don't write the personalized notes, but nobody wants that. They want to spend the extra money to get the person that personalized pack that, the personalized sign that. So I don't know. I think there's gonna be a mass pushback on a lot of this stuff.
Well, at what point does the AI automation stuff harm us rather than help? Because the interaction is what humans need. I claim to be kind of a introvert, don't want to talk to anybody, but I still need the human interaction like anybody else. I mean, we go crazy without it. I mean, look at COVID, everybody's staying at home. There's a massive jump in alcoholism, in domestic violence, and all of that stuff that blue collar families didn't really have because they were still going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not working from
It,
home. They're not.
you gotta have that level too. Like I imagine, like you see these self-driving semis, you see these, automated packaging things like I talked about. Like, well, where are those people going to go work? Like not
Yep.
everybody can be the software engineer behind the system that's doing that. So if you don't
No.
have those people working, how are you spending the money and how are you driving the economy to move? So like that's the part that
Yep.
scares me the most.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. I I thought we would talk a little bit about your coffee business because you know that's another aspect to your life. Maybe let's talk a little bit about how you're managing your time between businesses and between running these crews and then starting a business with your wife, because that's obviously a big stress on family time and personal time. And
Yeah. So probably not the best aspect of time management, but I'd say, you know, I'm one of those people that are self-driven to work 7 days a week, you know, 80 hours a week, like then just never stop. And so I could do that towards one focus and completely delete my family out of it. Or what could I do? And the wife and I have been trying to think for the last couple of years, what can we do to create a business that will show our kids, as you say, like let's put them in a business that they can touch, they can build, they can work themselves and build to the customer. So
mm,
like let's start that now. So my wife was the stay-at-home mom for the last 7 years. And so I said, well, what can we do on the weekends and at nights and kind of start this thing. So we started this, and thank God I have an awesome wife, and she's able to do a lot of that herself. And it's really challenging with a 3-year old and a 8-year old, but it definitely it brings new challenges into the world, but it also makes you work a lot more on time management. But I think it's fun. Like it makes me forced to spend that time with them. Like, we go out on the weekend on the trailers, we go roast at home. We're gonna go do a big show tomorrow. And I thank my wife and my friends and to be able to do that, but also like I could never get to that spot until I hired really good operations managers at the place I'm at now. Like, I'm still really
Mhm.
devoted in the landscape business and I want to see that through, but I could never give up those weekend hours and those night hours if I didn't hire the right people to allow me to do that stuff. So first it was like finding some people that could help free up my time with my family. So I did
Mhm.
that. And then next thing is like, okay, well, how can I devote that free time and start working on that with my family? So, but then it's like, well, what else am I going to spend my time doing? I'm sitting there on the weekends scrolling on my Instagram or watching some TV I don't want to watch, or can I go like
Or
create an industry and have
uh,
fun with my friend?
or
So
or spending the weekend getting drunk and partying.
yeah. Yeah, I don't even have time to drink anymore, so it's been awesome. I don't even
Yeah,
think I've had a cigar in a month, but it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Fun,
yeah,
but crazy.
yeah. Well, I see you, getting up early and you look like you're being pretty consistent with the waking up early and getting after it. I know that is one thing that made an insane difference in my life was picking a set time to wake up and sticking to it. I used to work out in the morning and only 3 times a week, and I was pretty good about that. But as soon as I started doing it every day, it was like hours upon hours in my day opened up that I could spend on other things. Um, and there's a lot of people that are just kind of go to bed whenever they want, wake up whenever they want. How would you say was the best thing for your time management on that aspect?
And I hate waking up every single day. Every day I wake up at 4. I might post a cool picture of me walking around the neighborhood or working out, but I can't stand it. I'd rather be in bed. I probably got 4 hours of sleep the night before, but I've always found that it's not the workout, it's not the walk, it's not that like helps my day out. It's the routine. Like if I miss
Mm-hmm.
my alarm clock or I sleep in, which is very few far in between, my whole day sucks. It's off. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I didn't have that routine set up in the morning where I do the exact same. I joked about the mundane things earlier, but if I don't do those mundane things and get them out of the way, it just everything's thrown off. And I think it's like a getting out of the bed, getting that first win, getting that positive mindset before you go throughout the day. It helps tremendously across the board. And like, my workout's done. I'm already a thousand times past everybody else in this world that's not even up yet. But I think it just gets me in that right mindset for the rest of the day to be able to go do what I got to do. And these others that, I'll work out tonight, or man, I worked out really hard yesterday, so I'll work out tomorrow, or I walked a lot at work today. It's like it gives you 12 more hours throughout that day to make an excuse of not why or why not to work out today too. So just get it your hardest things done first in the morning, get your mindset right, and it's helped a lot.
Yeah. One thing I've heard that I like is to find every reason to do something as opposed to not do something because our brains will default to every reason to not wake up, at the same time every day. Why should I wake up at, 7 on the weekend when I could sleep until 10 because I don't have anything going on. Um, you can find a million reasons to not to do something, but finding that one reason to do it and maybe it ripples throughout your whole day and your whole day is better because of it. Um, but yeah, the I like seeing that you're out there getting up early and getting after the workouts because that's a huge benefit that a lot of people aren't aware of. Um, Even because I hear a lot of people in the trades and construction specifically like, oh, why would I need to work out? I got a active job. I'm out there working hard all day. Why would I need to go exercise? Um, it's it's interesting to say the least.
You know why? It's because you're that much further past your competition. Like because that guy's not doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
Exactly. Why?
Yeah.
Like, because he's not doing it, I'm gonna get out and do it and be better for myself. Because let's be real. I mean, you start into a trade job and it's hard. The work is hard, being outside all day, whatever your trade is. It's hard to be, physically involved in something, but at some point your body gets used to it. And I view it as need to constantly trying to be better in every aspect. So working out for me has been monumental, and some people would, well, I still get people saying it's weird that I'm working out even though I'm doing concrete construction and I'm pretty active that way. It's but to me it doesn't feel any different anymore. It's normal.
Yeah, you can definitely walk on a construction job and still find some obese people. I think you start using it as a crutch, right? Like I remember when I was a crew leader, I'd be like, and I'd work in every single day, 100-degree weather. You start using it as an excuse. Well, I can have that oatmeal cream pie for lunch because I'm going to work hard today. But no, if you work out in the morning, then you're going to eat a healthy lunch. You're going to have that, and all that's going to roll in together. But I've definitely seen some out of shape people just because they work outside.
Oh, I've seen some out of shape people that are in pretty physically demanding jobs, and
Yeah.
it surprises me really. And then they're like, "Yeah, I don't need to work out. I'm healthy enough. I'm get around, or I don't need to eat healthy. I'm out here, busting my butt all day." But it's like it's just that 1 degree shift that will catapult you in a completely different direction for your life and will completely improve your life.
No, that's a really good way to put it. Like, if you're willing to do that 1 degree and you're willing to do that extra little couple minutes of work, then what else are you willing to do? Like Matt Fraser, nobody else talks about it. It's like how you do anything is how you do everything. Well, if you're willing to be consistent and happy at what you're doing in your body and the way you're working out, well then you're never gonna be anything else. But if you're willing to, like I was telling a guy the other day, I was like, man, I got this buddy in Utah. He's the only person that's up. It's 3 hours freaking behind us, and he's liking my post when I'm already up early. And y'all guys say I'm up early. And I was like, and then I'm going to bed. And he's going to freaking jujitsu. So I'm like, God damn it! Now I got to go beat him. So it's like you're just constantly trying to level up and level up and level up.
Yeah,
And when you do that, then you'll level up at work. You'll level up. You
yeah.
won't be that same person that you're in the trade or whatnot. So
Yeah, no, that's another thing that I I forgot to mention is even the jujitsu. I recently I started jujitsu, and again people are like, "Man, like why are you doing that? You work out, you're doing concrete, doing an active job. Why are you doing that? How are you doing that?" But like it might have been hard at first, but the benefit I've seen from doing it far outweighs any uncomfortable situation that's come across. Like I've been sore, I've been tired, I haven't wanted to go. I don't always want to work out or go to jujitsu, but it's forcing yourself to do those things and waking up early that completely revolutionizes even your work. You know, um, that's the big difference I see in a lot of people that are in trade industries. A lot of people that you see that are successful, they're out there hustling. You know, nights, weekends. They're leveling up all the time. Um, yeah.
it gets you this like little definition of not accepting mediocre, right? Like if you're willing to go to the
Mm,
gym in the morning, you're willing to go to jiu-jitsu in the afternoon. That means when you're out on the job and you've got a worker working for you, you're doing something, you're not going to accept any bullshit work. That means like, hey, I don't want excuses. There are no excuses in this line, buddy. Like look at the lifestyle I'm living. So it'll definitely push across. If you're willing to say no in the morning, you're willing to say no at night to go to your workout, then you're willing to say no to make that extra little step to make sure that quality work you're doing during the day is quality.
hmm Well,
So
one thing that people don't see either is they'll they'll be coming up with excuses to not work out, but it's like constantly leveling yourself up like that. How can that not translate into the quality of your work even, and to your relationships with people, because they'll see that how hard of a worker you are. And if you're losing a client, it's a lot of times based on quality of work, or there's a miscommunication, or whatever, there's a disconnect. But constantly being focused on leveling up is a huge plus over somebody else to work with.
for
So
sure, you get a whole level of
yeah.
respect, and customers are going to want to work with you because of that. They know you
hmm
got your shit together.
hmm
So
so so we're gonna kind of shift gears a little bit. So what's next? What's coming next for you, for your landscape business, family, coffee business? What?
I don't know, man. Every day it's like, how do I level up and how do I do something better? But then it's like also, how do I what is that level up? What are you trying to get to? Every day I change my mind of what greatness or what the finish line looks like. And a lot of, man, I think in landscape it's we've grown to a size that's we're happy with, and it's finding that balance to continue to create awesome people underneath us and spend those times. So me, like I'm at this awesome spot right now where I'm creating two badass leaders underneath. There are three badass leaders underneath me, and every single day it's like it's a reward to go in and spend that time with them. So I could never see myself not doing that. So I think just every day spending the time to not worry about focusing on growth, not worrying about focusing on the bottom line, but just really focusing on building badass leaders because they're going to do that for me. So I think continuing to focus on that and do that in one aspect. And then I think for the coffee business, well, how I do anything is how I do everything. So I just don't turn off, right? My wife and I
Mm-hmm.
just double booked every single weekend for like the next 2 months. It's like, fuck, how do we figure this out? I don't know. Let's go figure it out. Fake it till we make it, right? But
Exactly.
it's
Jump in.
yeah. So it's fun, man. Like I keep looking back and saying like these are the stories we're going to tell ourselves, like how we figured this out and got through this. But I just want to create this another cool business that I can create jobs for, that I can create good customer service for. And like, I continue to walk in these food chains. I walk in these, I won't name names, but like these food chains that are just huge acquisition companies now. And it's like, God, you can't get the customer service, you can't get the quality food, you can't get this. And the workers there are pissed off. And it's like, what if you walked in another place? Like it's just like the landscape business where you talk to a really good person at the front. They enjoy their job. They go home and enjoy their life, and they provide a great quality product. So it's just so cool. And the further we dive into the coffee business, we've met some really cool farmers. So you're meeting people from Honduras and some other stuff, which is really cool. So it's just like, and the whole world of, not even just the coffee, we're getting big into the food truck world because we use the trailer so much. And then it's like, God, everybody we meet is so cool. And it just like every day you get out and you meet the environment. It's not what the news tells you. Everybody's here to help everybody. Nobody's scared of anybody. There's no race and religion and all this bullshit that you hear. No, literally, the next person in the food truck next to you wants to make sure that you're succeeding as much as they are because they want to drive the industry. So it's extremely cool to just get out there and work with people. I'm the same as you. I'm a homebody. I don't like talking to people. These are uncomfortable for me. But like, and every day I do that, I go home smiling, like, damn, I met 5 other cool people today. And it's like, I never come home going, damn it, I wish I didn't do that. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing it and see where it takes us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You guys grew pretty quick there because I think at first you said you were going to be drop shipping and you weren't going to be roasting your own for a while. You're roasting a lot of your own beans, if not all of them, right?
Yeah, we're roasting all of them now. So when we first started, it was going to be a drop ship company. And then I'm just one of those guys that can't go all in, or I can't just partially do it. I got to go all in. The drop shippers we had, are amazing. They're out of Idaho. We met, them and the Nate and Jen and the Lions, and they're extremely great. They have an awesome product. And it was just that little portion when I started learning about it. I'm like, this is really fucking cool. I want to learn how to do it. I still talk to Nate.
Mm-hmm.
He's really cool. But again, it was like, okay, well, I want to be able to serve this product and touch the product from the end to the consumer. And I want to be able to tell the customer, I bought it from the farmer, I roasted it, here it is. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where that kind of started. So we started off on a little 1 pound roaster, roasting 12 hours a day on Saturday or at night all night. And I just upgraded it. I'm sitting right next to it now, but I just upgraded it to a 6 pound roaster. So yeah, it's getting busy and getting used. Like people like yourself and some really good friends and family are starting to get into it. My work actually was pretty cool. They just ordered 100 pounds worth to serve to all the employees, which I thought was fucking cool. But my wife, honestly, she's my biggest customer. She runs the trailer so much she needs beans, so that's been fun. But
Nice. Awesome. No, that's cool. It's been really cool to see you grow it because you came to us with kind of your idea and was just like, we're just going all in. And it's been really cool to see the journey and knowing that you guys, that you work full time. I mean, you're running crews, you're out there and you guys are starting this business. So it's kind of cool.
yeah, it
Cool.
was
All
either
right.
continue to invest my money in the S&P market and whatever the hell Joe Biden decides my money goes to, or do I, invest like Alex says, in S&Me, and I put it all on myself and bet on myself, and so that was more what it was. So it's been fun. But no, you guys actually created our logo, and we still get comments to this day, no matter where we go. Awesome logo, awesome branding. So you guys killed it on that, and I'm glad we chose y'all to
Awesome.
do that. Yeah,
Thanks, Maggie. Will be really glad to hear
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Where can people go to, follow you and your wife and see updates from you?
Yeah, you can follow me on it's Justin Justin F is my middle name F, and then Norris Norris on Instagram or Facebook. And then Home Coffee Brand is our coffee business, and then landscape business is Seeper Landscape. Follow us on LinkedIn, and I believe we have Facebook as well too. I try to stay off of so many social media platforms, but yeah.
Well, Justin, it was good to talk to you. This will be our first interview, so I'm glad you jumped in with me, and
Oh
looking
yeah,
forward to doing another one. So
yeah. No, same here, man. It's good talking to you. I appreciate you having me on.
yeah, all right, peace out.